Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy! Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast, episode number 48. This week we have Dream Police, Cheap Trick Tribute Band, and introduce yourselves and tell us who you are and what role you play.
My name is Kurt. I'm the singer of the band. I play Robin Zander. We live here in Atlanta. I'm 80 years old.
You look pretty good for 80.
Yeah, no good.
Work out.
All right, who's the cat in the back with the hat?
Oh, that would be me.
The other hat.
Matthew, the other hat. I'm Matthew. I play guitar and
come to your left. There you
I
go.
play Rick Nielsen in the band.
Who's left? Me?
Me.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Tom Peterson, or as I'm called, Tom Lack of Peterson. Peterson. I play the 12-string bass. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And Horge.
And I am George Sandler, and I play Bunny. Carlos, how you doing? It's very, very cool. Very cool.
I'm from Chicago.
Well, we really appreciate you guys and gal being on the show. I guess my first question is, who came up with the idea?
Listen, he's the owner of the idea.
I guess I kind of did. There's so many tributes in every town. And we kind of did it as it was part of a scheme that we had to monopolize Lee and her following for a New Year's Eve gig that we were doing.
Was it?
It was.
Yeah.
It truly was. We knew that all of her girls and all of her fans would follow her no matter where she went. And so me and Matthew were playing in a Aerosmith tribute band. And so anyway, we put the Dream Police together as just kind of like a one-off thing. Just for that New Year's Eve show, so we would have a good, strong following. Which, as it turns out, the Dream Police band almost had a better show than the Aerosmith tribute band did. And then after it was over, nobody really wanted to stop doing it, so we just started investing. So that's how it got started, and here we are.
Almost a year later.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
DP on your stock exchange. You can invest there too, so if you like.
No.
Probably.
No.
Nope.
No, it's a privately vested. It's private.
Private investors only?
I guess. Yes.
Yeah, four of them.
Four of them right here.
All right, I think Bill has a question for you.
Yeah. So, why did you choose Cheap Trick? What was the driving factor?
You want me to answer it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like Cheap Trick a lot. I mean, I grew up listening to them. They've kind of been with me and everybody else in the band, I guess, but they've kind of been with us for my whole career. I've been my career has lasted about as long as theirs has. I mean, not quite at the level as theirs, but still, I mean, they've obviously, but they've been with me my whole career. And so, you know what I mean? It was the stuff that kind of fit, the way that I like to sing, the way that I like to be on stage. You know what I mean? With Cheap Trick, I mean, there's some goofy clothes and a couple of fancy guitars, but other than that, it's just amps and drums, and everything else just felt like so unnatural, for me anyway.
Well,
Cool.
speaking...
So did the...
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry,
Bill.
Alan. So did that... how did you get the other guys to kind of get in? I mean, what was you just went out and picked them, or what was the plan?
Well, me and Matthew have a tradition of Monday night, very late night drinking. Like I do this gig every Monday, and after that, me and him meet upstairs for drinks. So we just started talking about it. We just started chatting about it and seeing if we wanted to. We've been involved in many different projects together, and we were just kind of sitting there. And I just said, "Man, you would make a great Rick Nielsen. You really would." And he was like, "Man, I never even thought of that." And then we started talking about bass players, and we just couldn't think of anybody right off the bat. We were like, it has to be somebody that kind of we like, somebody that we know, somebody that could do a Tom Peterson, that would be into the music. And we're not young, we're not super young people, but so it just kind of, we talked to Lee, and it was like, dude, everything just kind of, it really just kind of fell into place. Like really quick and really just kind of naturally. It just seemed like the right band for us to play.
And there were no other people considered, really.
Nope.
It was like this person, hey, we're done. Let's go.
That was it.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's cool. So did you guys all know each other, I mean, pretty well before, or just kind of?
For me, I knew of George. I had some recordings of stuff that he had done 20 years ago. And then when we started rehearsals, it was like, hey, didn't you play on such and such? And he was like, yeah, that was me. And I whipped it out and said, this is you? And it's like, picture a really young, tall, thin George in his 25 years old. And I was like, wow, look at that. So it was pretty cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
I played in a blues band with George in '94 and only seen him off and on, you know what I mean? But I knew, like, when me and Matt and Lee started talking about drummers, I'm like, I've been like in the band scene for, since '90 in Atlanta. I know pretty much everybody that there is out there. And I'm like, there's really only one guy that I know that can play this style of drums. And so we got in touch.
Awesome.
Through the Facebook. Through the book of Facebook.
Through Facebook. Cool.
I had never met Matt or Lee, but again, they were mutual friends of Curtis's, and so it was just like, yeah, well, we did some rehearsals, and it was like, okay, this is good. And first, like you said, we were preparing for a New Year's Eve show. I think we had 45 minutes of material.
Yeah.
And we finished that show, and they were like, "Do some more." I was like, "We ain't got it." So we play one again, but I mean, it was great, and it was. I was blown away by the response. Because we were the first act on a 3-band bill. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, and people, we did the whole thing. I mean, Matt threw out a record during Surrender, and we did the whole shtick, and it was like, this is gonna work. So
Were the other bands tribute bands as well?
I have one complaint about George. He won't put the cigarette in.
Well.
He refuses to do the cigarette, but we let that fly.
But
All right.
anymore, and it's very bad for you.
It's not very good.
Yeah.
Think of the
Were
children.
there other tribute bands on the bill that night, or were you guys the only one?
There was an Aerosmith tribute band that I was actually still a member of. It was kind of that gig that kind of, I love Aerosmith and I love Tom Hamilton. I'm a bass player, by trade, but I love Tom Hamilton a lot. But just standing there behind, a front man, especially in an Aerosmith tribute band where it's really, I barely even got to sing backup. You know what I mean? It really wasn't working out. They were people that we knew, but they weren't friends. Like we're friends, like we're tight.
Yeah.
We've been tight for a long time. So
We're tight.
We should do a song.
Somebody should write
We could
something.
do that one.
You should write a song about that. Somebody should write a song about that.
Yeah.
no, not he's tight.
Not
That's
he's
gross.
tight.
It's
That's not
tight.
good.
It's
Not East. We don't care about that. we don't care at all.
We'll get back. We'll work on it. Get
We're
back.
gonna work on it.
Cool. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It takes time.
I've seen some of the pictures that Lee has posted on Facebook, and I notice you guys have a lot of custom guitars. You guys want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
You talk about him,
I'll
Matt.
talk about it. Sure. I'll talk about
Rotate.
it. Rotate. Okay.
Rotate.
I'm going to sit in the hot seat, and everybody's going to tell me what to say.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Well, we started off with one guitar, and then Kurt got this great idea, said, man, I'll bet we could build some of those. And I was just like, okay. And next thing you know, he's buying parts and cutting and gluing and doing all kinds of stuff. And the next thing I know, he said, here's a 5-neck guitar. And I'm like, what? And so, and there it is. And it weighs about 45 pounds.
Woo.
We use it for at the end of the show.
1, 2 songs.
Two songs.
But it's boy, when that thing comes out, the whole room just sort of goes, whoa. I mean, because it's one thing to learn the songs. And I have to say that this group has really gone the distance in terms of not stopping there. I mean, we put tons and tons of time into getting the songs as close as we can get them. But boy, that's just the beginning. It's the costuming, it's the instruments, it's the staging. the whole presentation, trying to figure out stage moves and different mannerisms that people do. It's the whole nine, man. And for a lot of the stage and visual presentation, Kurt has really gone to the moon and back to get the backdrop and the light cabinets. And he's made about 3 or 4 guitars for me to play, and they look spectacular. And there's a lot of tribute bands out there, but they don't have this stuff, man. It's really, really cool.
That is cool.
Big
Cool.
money. Big money.
Yeah.
Matthew, on the other half of that, with your instruments, the other big portion of it is getting the tone, the sound of Cheap Trick. As far as amplification, what are you using on there? What have you found that works good for you?
Boy, we've tried a bunch of different stuff, and I have to say, the simpler we've gotten, the better it sounds. Right now, we have a very, very simple rig. Each one of us have maybe a couple of pedals, but it's primarily the guitar and amp. Lee's got the 12-string growing through oranges, which is pretty close to Peterson's setup. Kurt plays through a Vox amp, and he's got one of the Robin Zander signature guitars. So that's pretty close to what it is. And I've come down to, I have one pedal and a Fender Champ amp. And after trying Marshalls and a bunch of different combinations, that's the thing that sounds the closest. And boy, if you watch him play, it's just, the recordings have got a few effects here and there, but it's basically just this good solid guitar tone. And he just, takes that and runs with it. And that's what we're trying to get to. Keep it as direct and simple as possible.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. They've never been known for, a lot of different effects. It's just, like you said, it's just guitar, amp, and feeling,
Yeah, well, that's what Kurt was saying before, that it's just a basic rock and roll band, and that's part of their appeal. And what's kind of interesting is that timing for us in this whole project has been amazing. When we first started talking about it, Cheap Trick was sort of like the neglected band. There's a lot of people, they weren't really on the radar the way, the other bands from their era, Kiss, of course, Journey. There's a million tribute bands out to those sorts of groups. And we were looking around for, Aerosmith kind of comes and goes and everybody kind of knows about them. And when we were involved in that project, we looked and there was a ton of Aerosmith bands that we were kind of studying to say, okay, who's doing what? Very, very few Cheap Tricks. And we were thinking about the next thing to try. Well, man, nobody's doing Cheap Trick. Let's do that. And as soon as we kind of got the ball rolling, boom. Next thing you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, new album. Next thing you know, they're on to the Today Show and the Tonight Show and every possible, TV forum you can imagine. They're everywhere. And here we are riding our little wave, attaching ourselves to the coattails. It was like serendipity, man. It was like,
not only
right thing at the right time.
Right. Not only do you have the older people that, the old fans, they brought in a lot of newer fans now too. So you guys get a little bit of both now.
Well, we're seeing it at our shows. Awesome. It's like Cheap Trick Mini. We get all ages. And one of the things that has really struck us about our shows is just how enthusiastic people are to hear the music. I think they're impressed by the visuals, but they seem to know every song. And we think, somebody might not know this one, but we'll play it anyway because we like it. Man, they know every word. And they light up. Oh, they're playing this one. No way. And it's amazing. Every gig we've done have had that kind of response from the get-go, from that very first show. So it's like the world is ready for more Cheap Trick, and we happen to be right here doing it. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, Alan, you had a question, right?
Well, I had a question, but I would like for you to ask it. Actually, Matthew, we've got our questions listed that we were going to ask, and you answered the next one before Bill could ask it. So I'm going to let Bill ask the question that I was going to ask next.
Oh, okay.
Give a little bit of extra airtime to everyone else there.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, so you guys had a little brush with Cheap Trick. Is that correct?
Oh, you need to say that. You get to do
Chinese fire drill. Everybody was
there we go.
It's a cakewalk.
That was me.
It's like musical chairs with only one chair.
We have a
and
stool.
no music. Which is from something.
So, Lee, tell us about your experience meeting the one and only Tom Peterson.
Yes. Well, I got a meet and greet for a show in Charlotte because Atlanta hadn't been scheduled yet. So I was like, I got to do this. I got to meet him, So I scheduled that and I went over to Charlotte and I was in line. I was all nervous and everything. And I had 4 of our our Dream Police, they're like postcards of our photo. And then I had one of them, I had a flash drive attached to it with our video. I was like, maybe I'll be able to give it to them, but they were saying no autographs and you can't bring anything and everything, but I stuck them in my pocket. So, so then when I walked up to them, I was like, oh my God, I said, I love you guys so much that me and my friends built a tribute band to you. And they were like, really? I said, yeah. And I said, do you want to see a picture? And they said, yes. So I gave each of them a postcard. I don't know who got the flash drive. I mean, I was kind of really, really nervous. So Rick Nielsen took the postcard and he pointed at Matthew. He's like, who's this joker? I said, that's Matthew. So Robin liked it. And, Dax was really nice. He's real quiet. But then I turned to Tom and I said, Tom, you're one of my favorite bass players. You're really inspirational. I said, I've had to get this 12-string bass. I got a Hamer 12-string bass. I said, it's been a real challenge, but I really love it. I mean, I'm really getting addicted to it. And he's like, you're playing a 12-string? I said, yes. So then I asked him, I've been doing this thing where my top favorite bass players, I have them sign me and I get it tattooed. So I asked him if he would do that, and he did. And look, show it to him. There it is. Wow. Tom Peterson right there. Nice. So he signed me. So then got my picture and everything. So then when I left, Rick yells to the guy that worked for them. He goes, she's in a tribute band. Get her number, get her information. And I was like, whoa.
We're sending the cops to your next station.
Yeah.
So I went outside and I was waiting, and my friend was out there waiting for me. And hi, Beth. And so he was then he got on the phone. He gave me a piece of paper to put my information. Then he got on the phone. He goes, Tom said he wants you to bring his bass up here. And I'm like, what? So then a dude comes up with Tom's 12-string bass, his actual bass he plays for the shows, and they strapped it on me. And I mean, I almost died. I was in shock.
There are awesome pictures on Facebook.
Oh my God.
With the bass.
Oh my God. And people in my 12-string bass group are asking me, how's the action? And I'm like I even know. I was in shock. I don't know what the action is, So that was that concert. Then the next night in Atlanta, I went again. I didn't do a meet and greet, but I just went. And as we were walking across to our seats, we had to go by the stage, and Rick Nielsen was getting interviewed by somebody. And he pointed at me. He goes, hey, that's Tom. That's Tom in the tribute band. And he goes, where's Dick?
He was hiding.
And I go, Dick? I said, we have an Uncle Dick guitar. And he goes, no, Dick from your band, meaning him. I didn't do that.
That's my name now. It's actually it actually is my middle name, Richard. So, everybody can just call me Dick from now on.
Because Rick said you're Dick.
I hear and obey.
Yeah. So that happened, and then I talked to him a minute, and then during the show, I was on Rick's side, and of course Tom was way down on the other end. And Tom pointed at his arm and was like, "Did you do it?" Like he remembered. So he came all the way over during a song and was like pointing. So I showed him, and he gave me a bunch of pics. It was really cool. It was really fun. But,
isn't it amazing? It's amazing to meet people like that you've followed, watched, admired, for years and years and years. And we've met a couple. I mean, I've had the luxury of meeting a few people, and I really worried about him just being a total asshole and it just being really bad. And and so far I've been pretty lucky that hasn't happened. But it makes it what a great story. I mean, the next night they knew who you were. Yep. And he asked about the tattoo. That's just cool. I mean, that is of all the people they see, they're going to see thousands of people on this tour, and that's really cool.
Oh yeah, it was great. What a great experience. They were so nice. Oh.
Yeah. So that little upcharge on the meet and greet was worth every penny.
Oh, every penny. Yeah.
Money. There you go.
Well, didn't you also meet Tom Peterson's brother?
Oh yeah, well, that was the flip of that.
That was the flip. Now we played a show in Lawrenceville, Georgia, at a festival.
A couple weeks later.
A few weeks after that, and after the show, I wasn't even going to go down. I was just trying to get my stuff loaded, and so I walked down, and this guy comes up to me, he goes, "What did he say?" He's just like, "Hey, great show, guys," and I'm like, "Thanks, man." He goes, "Oh, and I'm Tom's brother," and I said, I was trying to think who I knew named Tom, and I'm like, and he goes, "Tom Peterson's brother," and I was like, "What?" And it looked just like him.
Yeah, I mean, Tom sent him to come see us play. How weird is that,
yes. Huh? Tom told
so is he from the area then?
Yes, he lives in Lawrenceville, and Tom told him to come see us. So he knew we were playing. So that's kind of cool.
I mean, and that
you never know, the phone might ring.
I know.
Yeah, the fact that that's in his mind enough to say, hey, hey, brother, there's this band from your town.
Yeah.
Go see him.
Yeah.
How about that?
And his brother
cool.
Jim said, that's his name, said, he goes, I'll prove to you I'm his brother. I said, I believe you. I mean, I was just looking at him, I believe you. But he goes, no, let me show you. So he opened his phone and he had a text from Tom with a screenshot of me holding his bass.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So one of my idols knows who I am. That's just really cool.
That is very cool. Are you ready to go now? That's
well,
awesome.
yeah, we're waiting for them. I mean, we don't want them to retire, but when they retire, we'll really get going probably,
Oh yeah, not them.
No, we don't want them.
You met him and you're good, so yeah.
They'll
Cool.
never retire. I mean, they've been touring
Make a few more records, man.
They've been touring for 40 years constantly.
Yep.
I mean, even at the Hall of Fame, Kid Rock was like, they got 3 more shows this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is. That's awesome.
Just keep going and going. They're like the Energizer Bunny, right?
They are.
Hey, no pun intended back there.
Yeah, we have a friend who works merchandise for a couple of big bands, and I think he works for the Cult, and they were doing a few shows that Cheap Trick were a part of, and the word from the road is that those guys are acting like they're in their 20s again. Apparently everybody is amazed at their stamina, the quality of the shows, and they're hanging out. Robin Zander came up to our buddy all the time saying, hey, I'm in Cheap Trick. They had this joke going between them. It was really kind of fun. But the word from the road is that those guys are showing no sign of slowing down, and they're doing better shows than ever. I mean, the videos are all on YouTube, man. We study them all the time.
Yeah, we went to see them this summer in
Cincinnati
with Heart. Cheap Trick. It was Heart, Cheap Trick, and Joan Jett, and
they were the highlight of the show.
bill was all ass backbackwards. I mean, it was so wrong. It was so wrong.
I mean, no, they went first. They should have gone.
They went first. Yeah. It should have been last.
I agree.
They were. I mean, they were 100 times better than than Joan Jett or Heart. I mean, musically, sound, energy with the crowd, just not even on the same page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even on the same page.
Awesome. Hey, real quick question. I know, and not to change the subject on as far as the Dream Police, but you guys, I know you said something about you've been in Aerosmith tributes, and what other tribute bands have you guys went into? I know it's a lot of work to get one together, so I know Lee, you've been in a couple of tributes.
I've been in a Kiss tribute bands, yeah, and I'm currently
the Goddess of Thunder.
Yeah, exactly. I was the original first all Kiss female band,
right?
Diamond. Since then, I've been in. I'm also in Iron Mullet, where we do Iron Maiden and Dio and stuff. But
that's awesome.
I'll let these guys sit for this one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've only been.
Let Buddy up there. Let Buddy
down.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
I don't know. I've never been really in a tribute band. I played with a guy who does Elvis well, and we had a 9-piece Elvis band.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm playing some gigs with a band called the Nowhere Men. It's a Beatles cover band, not tribute, because we don't dress like them. And we have 5 guys and not 4. But that's my extent of tribute bands. I think I've just been, I don't know, do sound-alikes in the studio. That can be a tribute. I do a lot of that and just play a lot of different music. Matt,
Yeah, well, Curtis and I have done a couple of different things. You know, this Aerosmith thing, we were together. He toured with a Guns N' Roses band called Appetite for Destruction for at least a couple of years, I think. And I've got another side project, which is a Rush tribute band called Permanent Waves that is kind of a sort of a part-time gig. We play a handful of times a year, but we've been doing that for a long time. And that's a fun one.
Oh, I bet.
There's a lot of Rush groups out there, but, you know, I've got a guy who, in terms of the bass and the keyboard aspect of it, is just an absolute genius. And I sing and play guitar, so it's kind of like we've got that switched around a little bit. But that's a real fun one. Rush is another one of those 70s bands that we all grew up with, and it's been a lot of fun to do that project too. But I haven't been in any tribute band or any other band, honestly, that's gotten as deep into it as this group. I mean, it's really, it's a full-time gig for us. We're working on it every day.
I've seen a lot of your YouTube videos or videos that you put on there as far as like those cabinets you have with the lights and all the work with the checkerboard stuff. I mean, you guys, like you said, the detail is amazing what you guys do. And even your look, like I said, you guys got the look down, the sound's good. I mean, you're doing a real good job of it. Real good.
Thanks.
Yeah, we put a lot of effort in that. And I mean, you can credit Curtis with attention to detail. I've had a Ludwig drum set for a while, but you know, through a Facebook exchange with Bun, I said, all right, tell me what you were using. And so he said, I've got 12, 13, blah, 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 and a 24-inch kick drum. I'm like, that's awesome. Now I got to try to find a 24-inch blue Ludwig kick drum. And it took a while. It really did. It took a while. And I finally found one that a buddy of mine recovered. So it's accurate. I mean, awesome. It's really accurate. So again, Curtis is the attention to detail on that. And he's kind of helped do all that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's crazy. That's the intention to. I mean, it's crazy because it's so cool that, you know, you get to pour that energy that you have into a band that you really, really, really like and love, and you can tell. I mean, you can see it. I'm a dentist. I mean, I watch some of the videos and I watch the painting the cabinets and stuff like that, and it's cool as hell. I'd love to see you guys. It would be awesome to see you, to be there and watch. It'd be really cool.
Road trip.
Road trip. We're talking about it. I figured it out.
It's a very good weather here. There's no snow.
Yeah, Atlanta's only about 8 hours for us. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have to get a tour date schedule and see if we can work something out.
There you go.
So
you never know. We might show up. You might look out and say, "Oh my God."
They are.
Yeah, and Matt will throw you some picks. So
there you go. I do have a Rick Nielsen pick. I do have a real Rick Nielsen pick from 1994, 93.
Maybe I can get one through the camera. Does that work?
Just throw it. We'll catch it. It would have been cool though if you just told me that earlier. I'd hold mine up. That'd been really cool.
Hey, look! It did. It landed right here. It was green.
Hey, wait a minute! I caught one too.
It replicated itself like the transport.
So you said there's a lot of bands and you talk about Aerosmith and the Rush thing. Is Atlanta kind of I know Atlanta's kind of a hotbed for some different music. So are they kind of I know you guys are changing seats. So is the tribute band thing in Atlanta pretty hot? I mean, is it going pretty well?
It's all over the country. I think it's one of the big booking agents in the Southeast explained it to me a couple of years ago. He's like, the one thing that's really kind of made it easier for booking agents and promoters and clubs especially is, he said, it's easier for us to sell it from the street. Now, I've been in the business a long time. I'd never heard that term before, so I didn't really know what he was talking about. And so I said, explain that. I've never heard that. He goes, if you have a band called, Dry Sharpie, and then underneath it says a Journey tribute, it doesn't matter what the name is. We know it's a Journey tribute. We know we're going to be hearing Journey. So it makes it easy for them to sell it from the street, And so the kind of the old time, the kind of old school cover bands or just a regular cover band, I guess depending on what their name is, it makes it a little bit harder to describe what exactly you're going to be seeing tonight. You know what I mean? So for the tribute bands, I think just kind of exploded because ticket prices went through the roof with a lot of ticket bands. I mean, I went to a concert the other night. It was $80. That was general admission.
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous anymore.
So, I think tribute bands, I think they really kind of fill a gap. You know what I mean? I do think a lot of bands out there have kind of, I don't know. I think the right role of a tribute band is to give people the experience of seeing that band like it would have been had you stumbled up into a club in whatever era you choose to tribute. You know what I mean? Right. You stumbled into a bar and saw Kiss in front of 1,000 people. This is what it would have been like right here. You know what I mean? And so, you know, I guess you can get as nerdy as you want, but for me and for these, you know, for this group of people, I mean, we really like, I mean, you can look at this room that we're in right here and tell, you know what I mean? We're
exactly
pretty serious about our toys and the things that, you know, and what we want to put off when we do live shows is we want people to go, wow, man, I need to go see Cheap Trick, you know, because God dang, if this band is, you know, so that's kind of where we're at. Tribute bands are big business. It really is. It's an easy sell for clubs, and it's easy money for them, and it's easy. I guess they're easy to book, and like in every major city in America right now, there is a Motley Crue tribute, a Poison tribute, the Kiss tribute have kind of had their day. I mean, they were kind of the original, you know. But even Led Zeppelin tributes are everywhere. All I mean, there's always going to be at the top of every heap of tribute band. There's always going to be that one band that just is, wow, those guys, you know what I mean? And for Led Zeppelin, it's obviously Zoso, you know what I mean? And for Cheap Trick, these guys right here. These guys right here. Like, if we're going to do it, let's be the band. Let's have it all.
Have all this, all the
That's
stuff.
why we're doing all the checkerboard and all the guitars.
All the guitars.
I mean,
go big or go home, you know.
You know, it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because Access TV, which is part of the AT&T cable system, they have a show on called Best Tribute Bands in the World, and they have different tribute bands on there. They have had some. You guys need to really send some tape, send some video, because I'm telling you, from what I've seen, the video, you guys. There's a couple of those people they've had on that show that should never even be considered. I mean, not authentic looking, just not even, a couple of them I watched, I'm not sure where they came from, but
you just don't buy it. That's the whole point. You could tell that they're,
and part of it is buying it. You know, you are trying to set, like you said, you know, you talked about that experience. You're trying to set that experience so that when you walk away, you're going to go like, damn, I got to find a Cheap Trick show, or I got to find where these guys are playing the next night. So
you kind of want the audience to kind of lose track of, to where the audience is sitting there nitpicking, you know, what kind of hat you've got on, what kind of shirt you've got on. If you do it right, they kind of lose that a little bit, and then they just kind of kick back and enjoy it. Like I saw Zoso for the first time this last year, and it was amazing. Their guitar player was so good at capturing Jimmy Page and what Page was all about, you know, back in like the Song Remains the Same, you know, 1976 kind of vibe. It was stellar, and it's been kind of my mark, you know what I mean, as far as the tribute band. That's been kind of my goal, is to reach that mark pretty much from day one. And I've been in some good tributes. I mean, Blizzard of Ozzy is an Ozzy tribute that's here in town, and the guy that runs that band has got deep pockets. And he loves to make sure that his thing is incredible. I have not seen Ozzy put on a show like that since Die of a Madman. They will take this show into smallish venues and just blow minds. And the same with Zoso. It's like, I mean, when Zoso can sell out a room, which is probably about 1,000-seat room here in Atlanta called Variety Playhouse. It's a hard sell. It is a big room with a PA in it. That's it. And those guys can come in and sell that place out 3 nights in a row without even thinking about it. That to me is good business. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive. Very much so.
But there again, that isn't touring anymore. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. I think something with us though, like you can tell if the people in the band love the band that they are portraying.
Right.
Like we love Cheap Trick. Like we're so into it. We want it to be great. You can tell that there's a love, as opposed to someone just coming and just going through the motions, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Makes a big difference, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And just the love of being around, you know what I mean? People, to me, I mean, maybe it's just easier because we're in bands and we know, but it's like, I think people pick up on it. I think you can look up on a stage and go, wow, I bet those guys don't even like each other. You know what I mean? I bet they're just doing this so they can make a little bit of money and go home, and they just want to play. But I mean, when we're on stage,
Motley Crue.
You know what? It is, and there's a lot more of them out there as far as those type of bands. I don't know if you guys remember this guy. He's been in almost every Aerosmith video. He was pretty much single-handedly responsible for a lot of bands' comeback, like Heart, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses when they first came out. There was a famous A&R guy named John Kolodner. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him. The long hair.
Yeah, long kind of guru-looking guy.
Yeah. So when I first moved out to Atlanta, my ex-wife then worked for Geffen Records. So I was around that crew during that whole great time when Nirvana was coming out, Guns N' Roses was starting to blow up and all that stuff. But I actually showcased for Kolodner one time, and I walked up to him. You know, they introduced me to him after the showcase, and he was, you know, when you're in that position, you can afford to be as brutally honest as you want to be. And of course, I appreciated it. Years later, at the time, I wanted to kill him, but he just looked at me and he said, "You are a great songwriter, but you've got no band." And I did not have any idea what he was talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've jammed with these guys since I was 15 years old. But, you know, honestly, we hated each other. We could not stand each other back then. In this band, I mean, I would get out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning to come stop an intruder at her house. I would get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning to go fix his flat. George, it'd have to be about 1 o'clock in the morning, but I would still, if any of these guys called me at any old clock to say, "Hey, I'm in trouble, I need some help," and all of us are the same way with each other. We're a band,
awesome.
Real band,
awesome.
And friends.
friends.
I mean,
Besties.
We hang out together anyway. You know, before we even had this. So.
Strip clubs, you name it.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Except George.
Cool.
Except George.
They banned me. I can't.
They banned me.
It's a
long
I've
tour.
never heard anybody getting banned from there before.
You don't want to hear it.
We got a call from
Yeah.
it's
It's a different show, different episode.
Yeah.
All right, I have one final question for you guys and gal. Are you guys ready to start gigging somewhere other than Atlanta?
Absolutely.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we're working with 2 different booking agents. We're about to make another video this weekend. We've got a really big show coming up at a nice club, and we're filming that one again. We've got a great videographer. He's the guy that did our first one. But honestly, a lot of these clubs just want live videos. But we've got a couple really good booking agents, and we've ventured out a little bit, just nowhere like as far as like, you know, up where you guys are or anything. But all of those clubs up there, our booking agents book those places. We're going to get there.
Good.
I'm going to get there.
Only a matter of time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, and I hate to sound like a businessman, but you know, we have a vested interest in this, and we can't go up there for gas money and pizza. You know, we've got to do it.
How about if we throw some beer in there?
Beer right in the gas
beer?
If you give us
What kind of beer?
a good case of beer, about $2,500 worth of gas money, and we're there.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I mean, even just playing in a local, you know, playing the local music scene, just a bunch of cover bands, you know. Dennis and I can both attest to, you know, it costs money to do this, whether you're in a big band or a small band.
It costs money.
This costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Every time you leave the house, it costs money.
Absolutely.
Time I hook that trailer up, it's like, here we go. You know, and I've had people
Ching,
and
ching.
I'm like going, I don't hook a trailer. That trailer doesn't move out of my driveway until it gets to a specific amount. You know,
Yep.
there's no point. You know,
Right.
I love to play for free for everybody, but I can't afford to do that. You know, it takes.
Oh, I play for free. That's a setup and teardown I charge you for.
Exactly.
The playing's the fun part.
Yeah.
The rest of it's work.
So where can fans and viewers and our audience find you guys online?
Oh, we're on the Facebook, facebook.com/Dream Police The Cheap Trick Tribute.
There you
Dream
go.
Police The Cheap Trick Tribute.
Dream Police The Cheap Trick Tribute.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that right in one try.
That's good stuff.
All right.
Yes, come see us, like our page, and we got posts, you know, of the next shows and all that.
Dennis, Bill, do either one of you have any more questions?
No, just want to thank you guys.
We work with a booking agency out of Florida called Maximum Bands, and then we work for another booking agent, a guy named Joe Gatta. I can't remember his agency name for some reason.
I can't either.
Allthebestbandsintheworld.com is not. That's not it. But
Got a band. I don't know.
But Joe's been around forever. Joe's been around since the 70s, man. I mean, he's the one that started Cellar Door Entertainment. I don't know if you guys remember that, but this is before, Clear Channel and all that. Joe had Cellar Door and a big cover band called Subway out of the Carolinas and stuff like that. But so we work for Joe, and then we work for Richard Rubin at Maximum Bands right now. So
awesome.
They can find us on MaximumBands.com too.
Yep.
Excellent.
Cool. Well, I just want to thank you it's been a great interview. I mean, we've had, it's cool stories, and it's great watching you guys through your various Facebook pages, and kind of each one of you. We have a relationship with Lee a little bit, so we kind of follow her a little bit more. Plus, she's the No Peterson one, which makes her the hot one. So
that goes without saying. We're good with that.
No Peterson. They named me that.
There you go.
But no, like I said, all the stuff, seeing you guys on Facebook and the videos and everything, it's got me excited. I mean, I want to come see you guys. Like I said, there is a road trip, southern Indiana.
Yeah,
we're about 8 hours. It's 8 hours to Indiana.
We'll get up there. And where are you from, Alan?
I live in Evansville. Lee's been here before, so she knows how long it takes to get here. There is one venue here in town that I'll see what I can do. I'll at least get you guys connected with those guys, so maybe we can get y'all to Evansville and we can have a.
There's a place up there that I think both of our booking agents actually book. I think it's called Casey's.
That's it. And I do sound there occasionally, so maybe I can screw it up for you. What's this now, dude?
Well, I heard that place just packs out no matter who's there.
It is. It's
a really good place.
We need to come on up.
Yeah, both of our agents book that room, so we'll be up there. We'll come up there. We'll request you to run sound for us.
Oh, that's a mistake.
You better rethink that. No.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm very comfortable with their soundboard because I've worked out of there a few times. So
nice.
It wouldn't be a total disaster.
That's very fresh.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. We've had a total disaster.
We've had a couple disasters.
Yeah,
I think I recall. I think I recall seeing a post of Lee's a couple of weeks ago talking about disaster, but it is what it is, Anyway.
Not too bad. Overall, we've had good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just south of Indianapolis. So,
Bill, where you at? You're in Indianapolis?
Yeah, south of Indy, about 20 minutes, about half hour,
Evansville.
40 minutes. Yeah. But so the Vogue in Indianapolis is a big place, so they book a lot of tribute bands there.
I played there before. We just played there last year. I got stuck in a place called, I think it was called Milltown or something, right around Evansville, some little bitty town. Years and years ago, I got stuck with a band called Asylum. I don't know how long you've been around that area, but it was unpleasant.
Well,
I don't recall.
Milltown's up around Cord in that area. It's a ghetto.
Yeah,
it's ghetto. There you go.
Country ghetto.
All right. Well, we really thank you. Thank you all for coming on the show. We'll have this episode up here shortly, and we'll send you the link and all that stuff so you can post it on your page and all that good stuff.
We shall do it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Folks, remember to visit us at agesofrock.com to hit up our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that good stuff. And we will see you soon. Peace out, folks.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.